And welcome back to the Oneonta movie show. We took a little break, winter recess. We're back. We're going to talk about our favorite movies of 2019, maybe some movies that stood out to us. So let's get this show started. All right, so I'm here with a returning co-host. Introduce yourself again.
I'm Alex. I love movies, especially horror. I look at anything, no matter what time period, what country, what anything. I'll watch it.
What anything. And we have a new one, new co-host, not just a new one, a new co-host.
My name's Nicole. I've been watching movies since probably like 6th grade constantly, and I really like binge watching, like Golden Globes and Oscars, so yeah, I just really like movies.
Cool, so great. So I guess we might as well just start it off. I'll start. Cats. Did anyone see Cats?
I didn't see Cats.
I did not see Cats.
Could not make the time for that one.
I saw Cats in an empty theater with a bunch of my friends. It was the best time ever. It was so bad, but it was horrific. It was terrific.
Well, that was really funny.
No, okay, anyway, Tom Hooper, I hate him. I hate Idris Elba. I hate everyone involved in this movie.
I hate Taylor Swift. So
Yeah.
I did not see this
Ian
movie.
McKellen, though.
He was the best one. I
thought he would be.
But the Idris Elba cat just disappeared into thin air, and James Corden ate stuff, and it was great. So I'm done with Cats.
Yeah, that was...
Right.
My second least favorite movie of the year was Star Wars. Who saw Star Wars?
I didn't see Star Wars.
I saw Star Wars.
Okay.
Honestly, I kind of liked it. I thought it was okay. Will anything ever be like the original ones? No. But was this one better than there was that first, I always forget the names, but the first new one that came out.
Force Awakens.
Force Awakens, I liked that one.
Okay.
Then I liked the Solo one, because I've always liked Han Solo. So I liked seeing his origin story. I thought that was fun. But I didn't like the next one. What was that one?
The Last Jedi.
The Last Jedi I did not like.
That's my favorite one.
I didn't like that one. And then I liked, we probably have
Better run
opposites.
away.
And then I liked the new one that came out, but I didn't like it as much as the first one,
Okay.
the New Hope one.
Fair enough. Did you not, I thought this one was so rushed and just things came. Do you care about spoilers?
A little, yeah.
Oh no. Okay.
I have to care a little.
There's one thing that was cool. I really like how Disney has how they used old footage and show the old people during the movie doing new things. I think that's really cool. How they have technology now to even do those sort of things.
Yeah.
Even if it doesn't look it
didn't look
real. It doesn't look that's not really a spoiler. It's just CGI stuff.
It didn't
But
look natural. I don't know. I like the idea of it.
Yeah, it's going to get better.
Yeah,
this is only the beginning of it, but I think it's cool that we've come to that point. I don't know a lot about movie stuff. I'm not Masscom. I don't know those kind of things, but I think it's cool that we can do that kind of stuff now.
Yeah, I think it's cool how you can take Carrie Fisher and put her in. But they put her from old movies, so she's responding to stuff that she doesn't know that she's responding. So she's just like, yes, and she's just saying these canned responses. They'll tell her this whole thing. They'll be Leia, what do we do? X, Y, and Z, and she'll just be like,
yes.
Yeah. It looks so weird. So I like the idea of it. I'm so happy they didn't do CGI. Oh, they did do CGI later. Spoiler alert, they CGI'd a young Leia later on.
Yeah.
So I was like, what's the point of that?
I don't really feel like that's really a spoiler, though, because it's just
It was
CGI
1 second.
stuff.
I think I've seen that shot in memes and stuff.
It was 1 second.
And they did an old one of Luke and them fighting. So it just is cool. Right. It's cool that they have technology like that now to do those kind of things. We won't spoil anything.
We won't spoil anything, but everything that can be spoiled, I hated.
I can say that, even though I haven't seen the movie, I can say that I think the idea of having all these different filmmakers go at all these different.
Terrible.
Yeah, because they each have a different vision for what they want this trilogy to be, and they can't agree on what they want because Ryan's he's contradicting JJ, and now JJ's contradicting Ryan.
And JJ ended up contradicting himself when he set up in the first movie. So so it's a mess. So Star Wars, I thought it was bad. You thought it was?
I thought it was okay. I didn't think nothing's going to be as good as the originals.
Right.
But and not the originals, not the first two. I mean the original
70s.
Yeah, the 70s
No,
ones.
yeah, you're right.
But I like the New Hope, the best of the new ones.
Okay, fair enough. So let's just get into good movies now. I mean, what's some of your favorite movies?
I did like Jojo Rabbit. Which one are you saw that.
I don't.
I saw.
I didn't see Jojo Rabbit yet.
I thought that was really cool. I don't know. I liked how it took a different, because I feel like whenever you see like movies about like that time in Nazi Germany, it's always like, I don't know, it's like X-Men, or it's like talking about like the war. Like I thought it was cool how it was taking like the kids' perspective of it.
Yeah, because most people in Germany at that time didn't even know that the Holocaust was going on.
Yeah, no, they didn't.
Like, a lot of stuff was being covered up by the government, and so like I think especially seeing this perspective from a child who's very impressionable and just very, very like gun-ho about pretty much everything. I thought that was a really good idea. And then you bring in the fact that there's a Jewish girl hiding in his house. His mother's keeping a Jewish girl like in a little compartment.
Do you care about
in their wall.
spoilers?
No, I saw the trailer.
Okay.
That was in the trailer.
Yeah.
And
But I don't
Scarlett
care that
Johansson
much.
did such a good job in her role. Her part, I don't know. I liked how they incorporated humor and like made it seem like it was real life. You know,
Yeah.
like that was just because that was the way it was. So they had to be normal.
Yeah, like Taika Waititi, the man just has such
Yeah,
a way of like, cause he can make you laugh your ass off and then like start bawling like within a
Literally,
few seconds.
yeah.
I don't know how he does
That's
it. It's
cool.
incredible.
I gotta check that out. I meant to. I should see that.
Yeah, there's a lot of great performances, a lot of great humor, a lot of great drama. It does everything like almost like near perfect.
Cool.
And the kid's such a good actor. Like
Yeah,
I was
he's
so
a
surprised.
really good. This was apparently like also his like first acting gig.
Yeah.
At all.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really cool. So did either of you see the Mr. Rogers movie, A Beautiful Day
Yes,
in the
I
Neighborhood?
did.
You
I
saw
didn't see it.
Okay. I loved it. I was blown away by it. It's definitely like top 5 for me. I was gonna forget about it. It's weird because I always saw it once and it's like it's not like Once Upon a Time. You know, it's not like a big grand movie, so I don't tend to really put it up there. But then when I do think about it, I'm like, wow. They could have went the easier route. They could have done like the Bohemian Rhapsody, just like by the number, just here's Mr. Rogers growing up. But they didn't, and it's really interesting. Like this guy is like was he like a Time? He's a writer for like Time magazine or something, and he has like parental issues. Obviously, his mother passed away, and so he pretty much is like he's not like a bad guy, but he has like a bad view on life. So then he meets Mr. Rogers in like the late '90s at like the end of his career, and
It changes his life.
yeah, it changes his life, and it's really
And he has a better perspective.
right, and it could be cheesy, and it could be a little ham-fisted, but I think they did it really.
No, they did it
well.
really good.
That's what
I liked
Mr.
it.
Rogers is in the first place.
Right, yeah, exactly, yeah.
The only thing I wish there was more like seeing Mr. Rogers grow up.
Yeah,
That I would have. I liked the story and I liked the way they did. And like you said, I liked how it was original. It didn't just show
Yeah.
But I wish there was more of like maybe understanding how Mr. Rogers to be the person he was. Because like I watched a documentary after watching that movie on Mr. Rogers. It's on HBO, I think.
Okay.
And I forget what it was called, but it was really interesting. Just like hearing about his life. Like he was once like a priest before he did that, and it's just like it was interesting seeing how he got to that point. But obviously, I had to watch the documentary after watching the movie to know those things. So it would have been cool if they just like incorporated more of how he got to be such a good person.
Yeah, I guess you're right, because I guess if you don't know anything about Mr. Rogers and you watch the movie, you'll be like, I don't know who this guy is.
Well,
Exactly.
I mean, it could also work in the way that like most people know Mr. Rogers, of course, from the Mr. Rogers
Right.
Yeah.
from the
Show,
show,
yeah.
and so like this is sort of a way to like introduce a new generation of people
Right.
to Mr. Rogers.
Yeah,
and sort of-
exactly.
and it's, I mean, again, I haven't seen the movie, but from what you're telling me, I can imagine it being like seeing Mr. Rogers from an outside perspective.
Right, that's exactly
Yeah.
what they do. That's exactly,
Yeah.
and I think it's
It is.
all the better for it. So I love that. What else? What else? Somebody shout out a movie.
My favorite movie of the year was definitely The Lighthouse.
Okay.
It's not only my favorite movie of the year, one of my favorite movies of the decade.
Wow.
And probably
a bold
in my
statement.
top 5 favorite horror movies of all time.
That's what I've been hearing.
Yeah.
That's what I've been hearing.
So, those of you who don't know, the plot is basically Robert Pattinson plays a lighthouse keeper who's coming to this island in the middle of nowhere, and he's being taught by this other lighthouse keeper played by Willem Dafoe, and the two of them just start going insane. It's as simple as that, but
It's a descent into madness.
yeah, just the way they sell the madness through all the
Okay.
surrealism, all like you never really know what's real, what isn't. Pattinson, Dafoe are so good together.
Dafoe, oddly enough, has been one of my favorite actors the past few years. He's been nominated for the past 3. He didn't get a nomination this year.
He
but
didn't.
He's been nominated for the past 3 years.
For The Lighthouse, he should have been nominated.
Yeah, that's what I heard. And he was in At Eternity's Gate last year, where he played Vincent Van Gogh, and he's great in that. And he was in The Florida Project, which is one of my favorite movies of the past years.
The Florida
He's
Project.
great in that.
And I found it the weirdest way. So I watched this YouTuber who does fashion stuff, and she was talking about how she watched it and how good it was. So I watched The Florida, and I was honestly like, it's very underrated.
Yeah,
it's really good. You can finish your Lighthouse. We can talk about it after. I don't want to cut in.
Yeah, like yeah. So the surrealism, all like the weird imagery, all like the just like out of nowhere strange moments, like the way the characters talk, it takes a little time getting used to. But like that, coupled with how it's shot in black and white, how it's shot with like an old camera with like that tight 4x3, all those things together create like a really claustrophobic and uncomfortable feeling. Like I felt like the way I judge a good horror movie is if I feel like the movie is assaulting me. And this,
interesting.
I felt like no, really, because like well, I mean, because it's a horror movie.
All right.
And this movie assaulted me.
Right.
This movie like pushed me to the ground and stomped me on the face, and I loved it.
Interesting verbiage.
It was fantastic.
Really cool choice of words there. So
Yeah.
let's you loved it. We'll move on from that. We got to go to commercial in a few minutes, so we got time for one more before commercial break. What else? Knives Out was another one. Did anyone see Knives Out?
I didn't see that
one.
one.
No. Okay, Knives Out. Please see Knives Out.
We can talk about the Florida Project now.
Knives Out was amazing, and definitely one of the best screenplays of the year. We'll talk about the Florida Project in a second. But it came out a few years ago. So, but yeah, Knives Out. It's amazing.
Wait, so it came out a few years ago?
Florida Project?
Oh no! Oh, it came out a few years ago?
Florida Project, yeah.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So Knives Out, probably the best screenplay, one of the best screenplays of the year. Chris Evans is in it. Rian Johnson, who directed it and wrote it, who did Star Wars: Last Jedi. Yeah. Just a lot of cool twists and turns. I don't like murder mystery movies at all.
My whole thing was that I saw the trailer, and I love all the actors in it. Like I was amazed by the cast in it, but from the trailers that I saw, I didn't really see much of a plot outside of the whodunit.
I mean, that's the plot. It's the whodunit. It's the plot. It's character driven. Like each character is like, one of them's like the greedy son, the other one's like wants to get the business, another girl's like an Instagram star. Like it's
don't get me wrong. I love a good old fashioned whodunit as much as the next guy, but it's just that it didn't really seem like anything that out of the ordinary for me.
It is. I think I mean, does it need to be? Why does it need to be out of the ordinary?
Well, I mean, because there's so many murder mystery movies that like it has. Like I feel like if you want to make a murder mystery now, you got to do a lot to stand out.
It does, but I can't spoil it.
Okay.
It does.
Okay,
if you watch it does.
Yeah.
It's not just like who did it. It's more of like, again, it's character driven. They reveal stuff like 30 minutes into the movie that changed the whole thing. Like I thought it was going one way, and then not even 45 minutes of the movie, they basically tell you what happens. I mean, and then then you have to reverse analyze it. So, really good. Check it out. Check out smaller movies, please. Don't just go see Avengers. And we'll be right back after this commercial break.
They'll see you before you see them. Cops are cracking down on drinking and driving. Drive sober or get pulled over.
All right, so we're back real quick. So what's another movie that you liked this year or saw?
You said you saw that Ted Bundy movie, right?
No.
The Zac Efron
one? Talk
one?
about it,
yeah. I saw it.
It was really cool. I liked that it was from the perspective of the girlfriend, and it wasn't just like on him. Like it was like a more humane perspective of what happened. And I don't know, it was interesting seeing from her eyes, like having to deal with the grief of finding out that her boyfriend was like a mass killer.
Okay.
And I don't know, I just thought it was really good. I feel like Netflix has been coming out with some pretty good stuff with TV shows and movies.
Yeah.
And so which one has The Handmaid's Tale? Is it
HBO? Hulu, I think.
Hulu,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Hulu has Handmaid's Tale, and that one's really good too. So
yeah, with the Ted Bundy movie, I did really like all the stuff with the wife's perspective. I think it could have been done a little. I think it could have had a little more focus. I think a a lot more of it was focused on, like the Ted Bundy trial and all the, like just covering all the facts around it and all. And I didn't dislike that because Zac Efron did a fantastic job.
He really did.
But it's sort of, it's weird for me to describe because it just sort of, it feels like, it feels
a mess.
Not a mess.
This is what you're doing.
Not a mess. Not a mess. It's just sort of with the way it like covers all the facts and all the events that happened around this trial. It feels sort of like a documentary rather than a movie.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And it is from the same guy who made the Netflix documentary, so that sort of makes sense.
It's weird. Last year on the show, the other co-hosts were like, murder mysteries. See that murder show? That murder show. How about that murder show? And I was like, I'm done with murder shows. I don't care. I like the fake ones like Knives Out because it's interesting. But Ted Bundy and Jeffrey Dahmer, they're making all these ones about him. I could not care. Like I just don't care.
Well, I think I care in the sense that it's like interesting to see like the more human side of these serial killers.
But yeah.
Because like they had to become. No. I mean, they had to become serial killers somehow.
Right.
And the way that sort of happens is something that's always intrigued me, just how a person can become that monstrous and evil.
Okay.
After the movie, I did research because I was trying to figure out like what if there was something triggering that happened in Ted Bundy's childhood, and I found out that his sister, the person we thought he was his sister his whole life, was really his mother. And his grandmother was his mother.
That's a common thing among serial killers.
Yeah. So that kind of drove him a little bit crazy because he didn't find out until like he was older. I forget when, but I remember because I got really into it after the movie because I like Zac Efron.
Did they explain that in the movie? His mother and
nope, they did not.
Movie.
I think his mom was also a prostitute. I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
So yeah, he was real messed up.
He was real messed up.
Right. Yeah. I almost forgot about this fantastic film, Uncut Gems. Did either of you see Uncut Gems?
Didn't.
Well, you better get out and go see it. This is the best movie I've seen. One of the best movies I've seen the past few years.
Is it in the theaters now or no?
It might be, but it's coming out.
It came out in December.
Yeah, it's coming out.
Oh, it did?
I saw that in Star Wars the same day.
Okay.
So it was great. But Adam Sandler is amazing, and he got snubbed of an Oscar. It's just about this guy who just screws up. It's like 24 hours, and it's about this jeweler, and he has a gambling addiction, and he just keeps screwing up. He just sells this thing, and then somebody wants the money for that, and then he takes that money and puts it somewhere else, and people just keep following him along, and he's just a screw up, and it's just great to watch it. And his wife is Idina Menzel, and she has like this great Long Island like mother accent. She's great in it, and it's directed like the camera's just zoomed in on everybody, and it's just 2 hours of people yelling at each other, and it's phenomenal. And you need to see this movie if you like good dramas or good dramedies or like movies like that Good Time we were talking about before, same director, Goodfellas, or it's produced by Martin Scorsese. So,
is it?
Yeah, his name popped up in the beginning. I was like, cool. So it's just a great drama. I loved it. Unlike a movie that I know you saw that I didn't like was Marriage Story. Did you?
I didn't like it.
Okay. Oh, okay. I didn't like it. Did you see it?
I didn't see it. I've heard a lot of good things about it.
I didn't like it at all. Maybe I just can't relate to it.
Well, I mostly heard about the acting.
No, the acting in it was pretty
good.
good.
I thought he was good. I don't
he
like.
was good.
I don't like Scarlett Johansson at all. So
Oh.
it's like watching. It's like watching.
Do you like her in Marvel stuff or no?
No, it's like watching.
She was really good in Jojo Rabbit.
Okay, because I don't like her because it's like watching white bread. It's like, oh, you're just lady. I don't really like. There's no characteristics to her. I never really.
She was
she good?
in Jojo Rabbit. She was phenomenal.
Okay, because I never.
And like she got nominated for 2 Oscars this year actually.
I don't know why.
One for Marriage Story, one for Jojo.
I haven't seen Jojo, so I can't judge it. But Marriage Story, it's just she talks like this the whole movie.
Yeah.
Like a robot. And in the Marvel movie, she talks like this.
Well, I think it worked better in the Marvel movies because of the character.
They didn't write her right in the Marvel. There's a whole thing I can go on about Marvel movies.
We should do another time for Marvel movies.
They forgot to write her in all the movies. They were like, oh, we got to make a Black Widow movie now? And they forgot to write anything about her because... Let me go off a quick tangent. Scarlett Johansson, the only thing you know about her in any of the Marvel movies is that she was a Russian spy and she is good now. Do we know anything else about her? No. We don't know anything else about her.
That's why they shouldn't,
I feel like Marvel
that's why
movies,
they shouldn't have waited until after she was dead
to make a Black Widow movie, which is my problem, which I'm done with that now. Let's talk about good movies again.
Okay.
So you didn't like Marriage Story?
I didn't like Marriage Story. I think that Marvel movie should be its own
Yeah,
show.
we'll talk about
That's
Marvel
like
movies
a lot. That's a lot.
One thing
But I didn't like Marriage Story because I don't know, I just felt like it wasn't really much of a plot and it wasn't really much of a story.
I agree. Yeah.
And I just felt like I was kind of just sitting there watching this family have a divorce, and I'm like, why do I need to be watching this?
Yeah,
but it was, my parents were watching it with me because I watched it over break, and they were like, there was an older movie. I forget what they said the name was, but this movie's pretty much the same thing as this older movie. I don't know if you know the name.
Blue Valentine is exactly the same.
Yeah,
Revolutionary Road is also exactly the same.
Oh, I love Revolutionary Road, though.
It's
But
like
I'm
the
also a
same.
Leonardo DiCaprio girl,
Yeah,
so
that's
that's
good.
why I like it.
One thing I want to cover quick. I know we already talked about a Joker, but I just have to say the impact that movie has had is just
On society.
Yes, on society.
On society.
Just so we're clear on that,
Those
the
memers.
impact on society.
It's really just a copy. You know, I go back and forth on Joker. I know you love it.
I liked it.
I go back and forth. I love him. I love Joaquin Phoenix. If you haven't seen You Were Never Really Here, if you haven't seen The Master, go see those movies. Joker, you take Taxi Driver, and then it's like, okay, let's just remake it. And that's basically what Joker is. You take King of Comedy. If you haven't seen King of Comedy,
I don't really think it affected society,
there are
though.
exact scenes from the King of Comedy and Taxi Driver that they took and they put over here into Joker. And it's like, it's drawing the line, it's riding the line of copying, and it's like really riding that line.
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying, but here's how I'm thinking. I don't know if you know Captain Midnight on YouTube, but he did a great video on this. And basically what he was saying is that he didn't really care for the movie either all that much.
I don't hate it. I like it.
I know.
It's just I think it's a copy of other movies.
Yeah, so what he was saying, though, is that basically this movie is...
Why do you think it has an effect on society? It's pretty much what I want your answer to.
It is a small-scale character drama that made over $1 billion.
It still has the DC logo on it, though.
Okay.
So you take that logo off.
Yeah. I know. But the fact of the matter is that I think this type of movie, the fact that so many people saw this movie and loved it, is going to make people want to see these types of movies.
No, but
more.
I disagree. That I disagree with 100%. Because why does it's still Joker. People are going to see a Joker movie. People are going to see.
I know it's still
If
Joker.
you called that movie Clown Guy, no one would have seen it.
You know what? You know what?
I
But
feel like
Batman v Superman was still called Batman v Superman.
And that made $1 billion.
Yeah, but everybody hated it.
All right.
Everybody loved
But it
this
made $1 billion.
movie.
It's the same thing.
Okay, but that's not what I'm saying, though. Everyone, most people loved Joker. Everyone hated Batman v Superman.
Well, all right. Can we talk about The Irishman now?
All right, let's talk about The Irishman.
Did you like Joker? I skipped over you. Did you like it?
Yeah, you guys kept on arguing,
Yeah.
but I liked Joker, but I just didn't really understand. I feel like the only reason, I kind of disagree with you guys that the only reason it made so much money is because it was called Joker. I think it made so much money is because it had so much hype that when you left the movie, you were gonna go crazy,
Right.
and you were gonna go on a
You're right.
murdering
You're right
spree.
also.
So that's
You're
why
right.
I feel like it made as much movie. Because to be totally honest, if it didn't say that, I probably would have just watched it on my computer.
Right.
I saw it on the big screen
agree.
because I wanted to see
'Cause everyone
people's
was talking
reaction.
about it, right.
I wanted to see everyone's reaction
Right.
around me. So it could have been called something else, and I probably would have wanted to go see it because of all the hype.
Okay.
Like,
but
like
would
with
that
19
hype be there if it was called something else?
I think it still would have
If
been
it was
there.
just called Guy Turns Evil,
See,
or
but there would have been the premiere, and then they would have said that about it. So I think if they had that hype, whatever the name was, people were gonna go see it.
Right.
But also,
but again, it's-
1917.
all right, I'm done with. All right.
I'm just gonna say one
Yeah.
other thing. 1917 also
I forgot
had
about
the hype.
1917. I love 1917.
I didn't see it yet. I really want to see it. But it has really good hype around it because it won the Golden Globe
Right.
before it was
Right.
even in the theater. So
You're
I
right.
feel like people go out to see a movie when they hear hype about
Good.
it.
I
That's
agree
how
with
I
you.
feel.
I agree with you. Did you see 1917?
I didn't see
Real
that.
quick, I saw it. It was great. I don't think it should win Best Picture, but it's really close. Did either of you see Parasite? Parasite, another great movie. If you don't like foreign movies, go see
Did
Parasite.
you see Roma?
I hated Roma.
Are you
I fell
kidding me?
asleep. That came out last year. The Irishman, quick.
Okay.
We got to get to The Irishman.
All right, Irishman. It's Martin Scorsese movie
At his best.
about an aging hitman reflecting on his life, going on about Jimmy Hoffa, played by
Yeah,
Al Pacino.
he's great.
Joe Pesci's in it too.
He's great.
He's great. Everyone's great. It's 3.5 hours long, but it's great.
Yeah.
I love long movies. Because whenever I see a movie with like a 3+ hour runtime, that tells me that whoever made this has complete confidence
yeah.
in everything they're doing.
Much like Batman vs. Superman.
You know what? I like that movie, so
I
I'll
don't
say
mind it.
yes.
Yeah, all right, fine. Irishman, yeah, great. 3.5 hours.
3.5
Yeah.
hours. Really good. It's still exhausting to get through, don't get me wrong.
No,
it's
Yeah.
I don't think it is.
I think it is. I think any movie that long, no matter how good it is going to be. Like, 10 Commandments is one of my favorite movies. That movie's like 4 hours long. And
yeah, but
I'm
if a good movie is good, the length shouldn't matter. And
it does a little bit, though.
Yeah, whatever. They're all 80 years old. We might not get another Irishman. Is what I'm saying. Fair enough.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm agreeing with
Martin Scorsese is 75. Robert De Niro 77. Al Pacino 80. Joe Pesci looks like he's 1,000. So I don't know if we'll ever get a movie like this again. Did you see The Irishman? No, you said.
I tried watching it and I really could not.
You gotta. I saw it in the theater.
I was the opposite. I told myself I was gonna watch half of it last night, the other half earlier today. I couldn't stop watching this movie.
The Irishman is the best movie.
I could stop watching it.
Oh, wow. It is the best movie I've seen in the past 15 years. It is amazing. It's Martin Scorsese's best. I love Martin Scorsese. And again, I don't think these people are good people. People watch these movies and go, what a cool guy, not a cool guy. So, we have to wrap this up. Irishman, loved it. You didn't like it. It's my favorite. It's my favorite of the year. I also love Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. That's my second favorite. And we're gonna be leaving now. So thank you for coming. We'll be back soon with more movies, hopefully with the same co-hosts, or maybe not, maybe different. So see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Wow.